channel. In today's video, well, a little bit of a preface. I'm gonna look a bit weird because I haven't got any eye makeup on at all and I'm in the middle of filming a foundation first impressions of the Revolution Pro CC cream. But I was walking through the famed middle aisle of Aldi just over a week ago with Daniel, and I came across these. That one's backwards. Came across these. Now I have opened these already because they were incredibly difficult to get open. But if you look on the back of them, see if you can see that. What does that remind you of? Modern Renaissance. This one, to me, that reads like the Soft Glam palette, and this one, oh hello, I can't, come on Amy, YouTube properly, there you go, that one reads like the Norvina palette. So I thought, sod it, I'll buy all three and I'll test them on YouTube, which should be entertaining. So I think in total these were £6 each. I paid £18 for these. And I thought, yeah, fuck it, let's burn my eyelids off by trying these out on camera. I don't own any of the Anastasia palettes because they're really expensive. I do own the W7 knockoff of the Subculture palette, and I did own the W7 knockoff of the Modern Renaissance. So I will be able to do a direct comparison between the two knockoffs, but I know what Anastasia palettes are supposed to be like. I have owned her glow kits in the past. I know what formulation of powders are like. I know, I've seen swatches and things online, so this should be entertaining. So that is what this looks like. Is the, has that got film on the mirror? It does. Oh, that's nice. I appreciate that. So it comes with a mirror and a brush. All of these palettes do. So that's the equivalent of the Modern Renaissance. This one is called Desert Rain. I think I should have prepared for this video before we start filming it. Another brush. That's the equivalent of the Soft Glam palette there, called Desert Rain. And then we have the Moon Dust palette, which to me looked like, oh, peel that off. The Moon Dust palette, which to me looked like the Norvina. So the packaging, as with the original Anastasias, are terrible. They feel disgusting and I'm not a fan. So I thought, I mean, the one that I'm probably most likely going to get on with is probably the Revival palette, because I do like me a warm toned look. So what I am going to do for you guys is, for the shadows that I'm not going to use on my eye, I think I'm going to use the Revival on my eye. I'll compare it to somebody else's video that they've used it in because I haven't got it. The other palettes, I'm going to go row by row and I will swatch it along my arm and see what they look like. This should be very entertaining. So we'll start with Desert Rain. So first up we have, on the top row, Draped, which is like a white creamy kind of colour. We have Oasis, which is kind of like a straight up gold. Sand, which is like a, oh god, that's crumbled everywhere, like a orangey kind of colour. And then Cactus Flower, which I think is like a rose gold. Obviously they are all getting caught in the hairs on my arm, which is delightful. Then we will go for Haze, which is like a bronzy kind of colour. We have Sphinx, which is kind of a deeper gold, and we have Badlands, which is, oh Jesus, look at Badlands. You can't even see. They are swatching so well. I can't really believe. Haze is ridiculous. Oh my god. Okay, full disclosure, I went over Badlands a couple of times because dark mattes are really hard to formulate. And you can see that colour there, Haze, right in the middle, is ridiculous. They've all come out really quite pigmented. I'm actually really shocked. That's oh my god. Right, I swear I do actually know how to use you. Going into the second row, we're going into Bloom, which is kind of like a taupey, mauvey kind of colour. Mirage, which is kind of like a more yellowy gold. Camel, which is a camel. And then Red Rock, which is a slightly more warm toned brown, but not as chocolatey as Badlands. Oh wow. And then finally we have Sahara, which is like literally a deserty kind of colour. June, which is a more cooler toned version of Badlands, and Night Sky, which is a black. So, as we can see, they have swatched quite well, all of them, except for Night Sky, which is this one here, which is frankly a bit pathetic. I actually got June and Sahara the wrong way around. So this one here is June, which is ridiculous. That is Sahara. They've actually all done really well. Then we will move into the Norvina palette. So we have Heavenly first, which is kind of like a champagne kind of colour. Star, which is more bronzy. We have Zodiac, which looks to be almost kind of duochrome, like pink and purple. And then Constellation, which is like a deeper shimmer. I'm going to try and see if I can get all of the... Wow, Star is ridiculous. Zodiac's a bit meh. Constellation's looking pretty good as well. I will show you all these in a minute. Then we have Cosmos, which is a straight up like Mac Stars and Rockets, if you know that kind of colour. Nova, which is again kind of like a bronzy kind of colour, and Infinite, which is like a black with purple glitter in it actually. Oh wow, Cosmos is pretty. So that's the first row there, as you can see. So this one here, which was Constellation, I think, no, Zodiac, is a bit shit. It's not really showing up at all. However, the other ones, like these, it's not really doing them justice. This one here is a bit questionable as well, which was Infinite, but particularly the darker shimmers are absolutely redonkulous. Right, finally, we have Milky Way, which is like a slightly, it's not quite a matte white. And then we have Aura, which is a not quite a matte purple. Comet, which is a mid-tone brown. And Venus, which is kind of like a slightly raspberry kind of colour. Ah, Aura's coming out like cornflower blue, which is entertaining. I am the worst swatcher in the world. You can tell that I don't do makeup properly, can you? Oh god. Then we have Earth, which is like a kind of cooler tone brown. Asteroid, which is like a kind of babysit colour, I suppose. And Meteor, which is a very similar colour to Badlands in the first palette that I swatched. Pigmentation not as good though, I will say that. I think out of the two, the Desert Rain has just absolutely trumped the moon done. Finally, on to the Revival palette, and I haven't even taken the brush out of this one. So obviously that's what the Revival palette looks like on the inside. From what I can see versus the Anastasia palette, it doesn't seem in the pan as pigmented and as bright and as vibrant as the Anastasia ones. However, I don't have the Anastasia ones, so not really that I can do a lot about that. So we are going to do a look of some description, and I will incorporate the little brush that you get into it. So let's see. What am I going to do? I'm going to go into Awaken, which is like a mauvey kind of colour. And I'm just going to sweep that through my crease. That is quite pigmented. Oh Jesus, I've just hit myself in the eye with a brush. And is blending okay. It's not blending the worst and it's not blending the best. It's definitely blending better than the W7 knockoff. There we go. I've moved you in closer so you can just about see what's going on. Spend 8,000 years blending. Just to clarify, I have no like makeup experience, so I have no idea what the F I'm doing. I'm kind of just making this up as I go along. As I do with everything in my life, frankly, at this point. So this brush is dirty, but there is no product coming off it at all. Probably gonna go into their equivalent orange, because I do love an orange. Come on. Pigmentation is okay. With this orange, like you can see it, it's just not as impactful on application as the orange that I've seen in the Anastasia palette in other people's videos. I'm then going to probably go into one of the reds. I'm probably going to go for Vive. No, I'm going to go for Era, which is more matte. And Vive. Because these kind of colours are what made the Anastasia palette like so iconic, because like the raspberries and the reds that were in it. I'm gonna go for a halo kind of placement. I'll probably put all the light shimmer in the middle. This is definitely not as pigmented as its predecessors. I'll probably go into Timeless. And then out of it. Take Era on the stubby end of that brush and just go along my lower lash line. And I'm going to kind of mirror that placement on top and take a smaller brush and take Timeless just to put it in the middle. Right, I do look a bit different now because I've got a slightly greasy face and a cardigan on, but my camera battery completely died, and then I started watching Making Chelsea and forgot that I was in the middle of filming a video. So back to it we go. So I have basically just finished blending out this eye, and I'm going to go in with the reds and the halo-ness on this eye. I must say I am pleasantly surprised by how well these shadows are working. Like, as always with products of this caliber, the brush is a bit shit, but frankly most of them are. The only thing I would say on the side that I have finished is that it only looks like I've used 2 eyeshadows. They have all kind of blended together, which could be my shit blending skills, frankly. Or more than likely, because I don't normally have these kind of where it looks like I've only got 1 eyeshadow on. It's probably the eyeshadow's fault. On the ball of my eye. Oh Jesus. No, they weren't. Thing. What do I think? I think this one looks darker. Okay, good. There we go, squad. That'll do. I'm gonna do some eyeliner and mascara off camera, and I'll be right back. And I'm back. So, all in all, for the fact that this was £6, I am quite impressed by the eyeshadows in this, actually. I think in person, the eyeshadow looks probably better than you can see on camera. Obviously, because I'm filming, it has been washed out slightly, but in person, it's quite a lovely kind of pinky tone, whereas I think the pigmentation, from what I can see from my swatches, in the Anastasia palettes themselves are obviously better. You are paying 46, 50, however much money it is. I think it's more than £40 for that quality of pigmentation and blendability and things like that. Having said that, the pigmentation of these was not that bad. I thought it was really good. There are obviously some shades that were a bit shit. So in this one I found that the lighter colours were actually pretty good. The mattes were all pretty good. All the shimmers were quite good. This black is terrible and frankly is pointless. This, I think, this one here, the Desert Rain, I think had the best overall pigmentation. I'm probably going to try this in a future video. I think the Moon Dust one was a bit of a miss altogether for me. A lot of the shimmers, this Zodiac one was a bit pants. A few of the mattes down the side were pretty crap. However, I think overall, this one, I think these 3 shimmers here are really good. This Star one's really good as well, actually. The pigmentation on that was insane. And then in the Revival palette, I've only trialled 4 colours in this. So in the video where I try the Desert Rain one, I will do some swatches of this one as well. But of the ones that I tried, this Timeless shade is beautiful. Era is also really pretty. Vitality's a bit meh. And then the other one's just like a mid-tone blending colour, so you can't really go wrong with that. All in all, for the fact that I spent £6 on these, I would say these are a pretty good dupe of the Anastasia palettes. They're a lot more affordable, they're a lot more readily accessible. So if it's something that like you're wanting to try out the colour scheme to see whether it's colours that you would wear, I would definitely pop down to Aldi, see if these are still available. They are still available in my local Aldi, and see whether you can get your hands on them. If it were me and my personal recommendations, I would recommend the Desert Rain, then the Revival, then the Moon Dust. For me personally, purple eyeshadow isn't really my bag. However, if you've enjoyed this video, hit the subscribe button down below. Don't forget to turn the notification bell so you don't miss any of my future uploads, and give this video a big thumbs up so people can find it. Let me know if there are any other dupes that you want me to try. Maybe see if Aldi have got some other products out there that we can go have a look at. But other than that, I'll see you next video.